Hello class, today we're going to learn about permutations and combinations and how to tell the difference between the two of them. The real question is, when does the order matter? So here we go, let's get started. The title, is that an order? We're not talking about a command or a direction, we're talking about, is the order important in this problem? For the most part, it can be easy to tell when the order is important, but sometimes it's not. Let's look at our first kind of obvious example. It says, in the Summer Olympics, runners from 8 different nations stand at the starting line of the 100-meter dash. In less than 11 seconds, all the runners will have crossed the finish line. Does it matter to the runners or their nations what order they finished in? Well, I would hope that none of us would be in doubt here. This is 100%. Yes, the order matters. Person who finishes in first gets the gold medal. Person who finishes in second, silver, and then bronze, and then we're off the podium altogether. So the order very much matters in this situation. So here is our first term for this unit here. A word we're looking for here is permutation. A permutation is the number of ways items can be arranged when the order of the items is important. So how many ways could these runners finish? Well, that matters what order they finish in, because obviously it's important to finish first versus last. So permutation is our first vocab word. That's when the order is important. Let's look at a second example. Mr. Capreto has selected 16 of his 48 students to compete at the History Bowl. Does it matter which student he tells first? Well, while you really maybe have some sort of bragging rights, doesn't really matter. Everyone I tell, all of those 16 students, gets to go to the History Bowl. So does it really matter who gets told first? No, not for this situation. That is a big no. Doesn't matter what order I tell you in. Now we have a new word for the number of ways items can be chosen when the order of the items is not important. This is called a combination. So there are two vocab words. Permutation, order matters. Combination, order does not matter. All right, some key words that we might see that would indicate permutation versus combination. For a permutation, we're looking for any time when people are in a line, any time that we're in a race. If we're talking about running for an office, or if we're talking about positions on a team, it matters what office you get. If you get, president or vice president or secretary or treasurer. In a race, obviously you want to finish first. If you're standing in line, the whole point of standing in a line is to know who's first. Line at the cafeteria, first, last, someone's getting to eat first. If you're talking about positions, maybe on a field, like you're playing soccer, you want to know who's playing forward, who's playing defense. The order of those people matter. Now, for a combination, sometimes we'll see events that happen all at the same time or at once. If things happen at the same time, there's no way for us to determine the order. So at once is kind of a big word for when a combination is going to happen. Sometimes you'll see the word a group is picked. That can be a little bit misleading, but in general, a group of people, if they're all taken, they're not taken in a specific order. Now, there's a lot of synonyms for group that could also indicate that. If we're picking a team, ultimately, everyone who ends up in the team, doesn't really matter what order they were picked. Obviously, you're going to pick people in different order based on how good they are, but ultimately, if you're on a team, that's going to be the same thing. A committee would be another keyword, and clearly my computer is having some trouble. It's having some lag here. So if you're picking a committee, though, that's another situation where the order does not matter. They're all on the committee. So here's a couple examples here. I'm going to just kind of let it sit here for a moment or two. Look through. Can you identify which of these are a permutation and a combination? That's all. I'll see you next time.